Nam so eti masu bonto no emunu ya sa to renchem yi ato oman yi so ena convener edema National Boardroom Governance Summit Professor Douglas Boateng or say breadru so man yi yempuntu sam ene afia amanyosem ye bechem mienu ne ye amanyosem afrim ne atumi aboa ama empuntu so akoso ewo ye man yi mu enwere semwe ena mede mo nkyeremu ebaba so musika 89.5 say enwere no sia kase bomede ede ajwa nyako abronoma ekojatra kwa ne so aba ensem no yedimu enkyeremu April
Sikka FM track one yani yakro 89.5 Sikka FM
Sikka FM 89.5 yes suma santimai
Ghana mai ani wiase afana nyina ma yehye som na se na yentese semne mu na yemfa emu enkyiremu so emra emesom yetiefo pa yehye sem na se dia na yehye se ede afri enwumasua aseye no akache na womonso enede atudwa sempanyi fogusu a ewa hoboamu a achechefo ebebro 6200 a omachira de ebe abosumi dunia womonsanka kapreba mechira ketua no abale de hyehyeye egu akwamu a omoba betua sa achechefo no eka na wasofo no hye enwumasua hosem so eye honorable Haruna Idrisu ono enede abetudwa se cabinet agiatum amasa achechefo yi a eja ya postu omufufuro yi omachira de abosumi dua wo musika ema ye wo musu sika no mpanyifo betua ede ama wo muntu embose wo mo hye mu se animanimu ya mpanyifo afrase o mo ye process no na enche bia aban no betua sika no ede ama wo mo o se Ministry of Finance Omai a photo sama asye no wa maje 1.1 billion Ghana cedis atum say no ye de babetua health workers any teachers na so mo ya pomudi adwuma no any achechefo ene de babetua mo ka enti achechefo hwani mu so mo so makatua na aka mabusumi duno aban betua e de amom Honorable Haruna Idrisu.
A few weeks ago, myself and Chief Director received a petition from some teachers who are unhappy with the government over their unending. They work for a number of months without pay. I'm happy to announce that Cabinet has given approval for the 6,200 teachers to be absolved. We'll begin the process in due course. They will have their IDs, but as I assured them, they will get back pay. But you see, I haven't demonstrated and pelted stones at they have to pay for the stone. We'll give them back pay, but for their conduct, what do we get in return? How that they bring to swap in academic work. So those 6,200 teachers, I think I can speak for both ministries in this matter. Cabinet gave the Minister of Finance approval to via budget and spend about 1.1 billion Ghana cedis to absorb a category of health workers and teachers. The process will start soon, and therefore no more picketing.
That's a process na frasia HB achechefo no ensa ebeka o maketua no a community wo hwe ne mu so monsan so ekokura prakasi bia akogina monte so kwote wo hongu monte so se wo mo eye demonstration. Honorable Haruna Idrisu wiye en wo sempanyifo san so ewa ahoboa mu a wo mo hwe ama category B schools ahodro ni bi wo ho a omada ho acha dodo se so omanya akade omumu apagya omumba be pagya category B schools ni bi mu ama omo so aba category A HS adisuafo no omo chusu school a obi apese onya ne first choice we anya na akoya asem enti B schools no omba be pagyam ama bi abeka A schools de ho said de be beboa manwumasua ho sem so akonkan. Honorable Haruna Idrisu.
We haven't in the last month we haven't expanded infrastructure at any category A school to have done the magic for us. My thinking, in order that we respect equity, will be that into 2026, and I've had consultations and discussions with the president, I have his support and blessing, is to convert at least 10 category schools to category B schools, then convert 10 category B schools to category A schools. And that will be backing it with infrastructure, with available classroom blocks, dormitories for students, and quality improvement by way of improved teaching, and then learning materials and learning aids. Not until you do that, you will struggle, as I'm struggling, to deal equitably with the matter of placement. Then for category A school, we'll choose 5 or 6 of them spread across the country. I mean, I take one in Central Region, 2 in Greater Accra.
And a young Monsieur for Honorable Haruna Idrisu. Yakwa Kwai, any aquantum ponswa for Honorable Governors Kwame Agboza, Nakache, and Yedre. Now, Yenimsa road contractors, Nancy, almost Babontin, Betchress. And when we are abiding Dromoka Bebre, Aquaya Hodroma ye, abiding Chia, a walk on a common video Guso, Moya, Jumas, when I'm second door, Sunti, or Master Sour, more Elfidia. Or more every quino. So, and I'm so honorable governors Kwame Agboza. And so, Eddie Atu just said a bino to say we're road contractors 5 billion Ghana cedis. A canning dear, a 40 billion Ghana cedis. And as I see our minor at 5 billion Ghana cedis. Yes, I can't at 5 billion Ghana cedis. Or mobile toy, I'm not 240 no. And as I say, buying 5 billion Ghana cedis. I was here at the Ama Road contractors. Now, see, some day I want to say, when you bread, you can't swear, no estimated contractor for car or man come up here every baby and a day about a bit ya and until so catch a contractors. They say, I own bread, do and I say, I fear would do to be sure about say a canon Cayenne be bad yet. There's so or some said that she be a binary sat so a day a more governs Kwame Agboza.
What was presented to us September, end of September. And according to that document, GOG indebtedness as of that time was about 21 billion. And road fund was about another 5 billion. And that excludes Cocoa Roads, which is also a huge amount of money. Without a doubt, Bernard, we are close to about 40 billion, which was work done and unpaid across the road sector. And if you consider the fact that 5 billion as of Friday, that would have been the biggest, without a doubt, ever single payment to road contractors at a particular time in the life of any government in recent history. That is, I'm not saying cumulatively, at one bullet payment of 5 billion, that would have been the biggest. And we are doing this without borrowing from international sources and other things. I think President Mahama must be commended for and the finance minister must be commended for this commitment. That is why all those people who have been saying pay contractors, we are not doing this. Ask yourself, how were we able to pay 5 billion without the binging on the borrowing from day to day? I think prudence and effective leadership.
Honorable, we are also added to us. Say, Mrashebe John sign for us here, Kase3 Biowa said, Yaketiano Honshire for Frosity and so Honso or day better giant.
When Parliament opens, I'll be making a formal statement. I'll tell you the outcome, because indeed, if we had rushed to pay, would have thrown away part of your money, because during the validation, it turns out that some of the certificates that amounts that we were told we owe is not exactly so. So the finance minister has carried out the validation, and out of the validated amount, as of Friday, about 5 billion has been paid to contractors whose certificates have been validated. That is GOG. We are also in the process of commencing the payment of contractors owed under the old road fund, now the road maintenance trust fund. So the payment to contractors has already started, and the process will continue.
That's what my frasia or mutia contractors a car. Omboko atua kwapem so bia sika ne nsa ebe kan osofo sha kwan ene akwantempo ho ensem so honorable governors Kwame Agboza ene yete ne nkan ye akodom kuma wo ma she bejafie akache na wo so ene se adan ti na wo mo a ehwe apomuden so apomuden adwuma efo makatua ho nsem akyesa a bi mo ti wo ho gu montene so mo twatwo prakase so bi so anye su ketwa de chira aban no se oma ye adwuma che den so oma katua emma ye na dom kuma na asem omo ka nyina ne se ansa na aban dada no metre na na don kwakufu ado na mamuo no eba abekọ na wiye no omo compare financial clearance sika ye di betua anesefo ka anesefo ebe se 15,200 and omunya financial clearance and chese sika wo ho ebetumi ede etu omuka sa 15,200 di wo mo se ya fa dipa be 8,000 pe na sa 8,000 ya form e den na afedie ono bokwa mi ta akando pomode so afo beka se han omuko ho cabinet na cabinet akwa approve na ne omanya sika ede akwa tua aye ampomode adwuma efo ne ka don kuma se kwa mi ta akando boa sika no wo ho dada to omo ntia se denti a wo kasa asem no ene omo frese trofo nhyiamu na wo kwa mrahye bedwafe ho abedwaku a omo hyampomode so ranking member wo ku ne so doctor Nana Ayu free o se di aban ne ye no eni kwase ajutum na yesan so a wo mo ebo ye ho ban pomode fam no o madwuma no asenso aban ne ni yentie.
This clearance expired on the 31st December. In item 7, as you read, it said, please note that this financial clearance expires on the 31st of December 2024 and cannot be used thereafter. Now, in normal public administration and civil service of this country, financial clearances expire. Even under this government, they will have financial clearances expire and they will go for extension. It is a normal practice in the system. It's no news, but you could only use it when you go for an extension for the Ministry of Finance. So, why didn't government see the need? Money was allocated for 15,000. You came in 7,000 or almost 8,000 had started. The remaining were employed by Ghana Health Service, albeit they were late, but they were at post. You didn't see the need to tell the institutions to reject them. Neither did the institutions write to you to reject them. What it meant was that they filled the gap and they were needed to be at post. So the institution used them, except for political reasons. They did not extend this for political reasons. And then 10 months down, they faced an embarrassment where the students or the staff went on a public agitation, demonstration, to draw your mind to this clearance and the need for extension. Embarrassing enough, you are saying that you've taken it to cabinet for an approval. What sort of cabinet do you have to take for an approval when you have a clearance already? You're throwing that in the eyes of the people. So government created a mess and they've seen 10 months, it's caught up on them and they are fixing it. And that's when you take political decisions. You see, the minority, we are a reasonable minority. If you remember when the nurses went on strike, the leader is here, the guidance of the leadership and the committee, we resolved that it was too early for us to support a cause and maybe they may have to be reasonable to government. And that was because government is continuum. Regardless of the clearance they had, all this payment dates was approved in the last year. Understand government a bit and then be merciful. Go back to work and negotiate with government. The minority was so reasonable and then the nurses saw the need to go back to work. So this is a reasonable minority. We've given you the opportunity as a government to find your feet in the first year as much as you can. And we have become so not too political with health. But you are dragging us in. It's the same thing that you did. You were so political. In 2020, the nurses went on strike for 3 weeks. Then in opposition, the NDC supported them that you should stay in opposition. They should learn from the minority. Our position in this year has been that it is too early. So we extended a goodwill, not because of the NDC government, but for the Ghanaian.
As a Ghana 14 and Shasiano of Kumana Mambon Anfa Sasebo Yamayam no Samama Tutu Anfan Carbino. Normally, no one in Pefe Sabano age of financial clearance our hua and that's for 15,200. Ya from 8,000 actually as we are not half a beer Konamunti Moka. Kwabena minta akando se o cabinet anza no masai abrezo on boy dom kuma na kire se o magi financial clearance not what that dance die o so afone kana so oboa to futu egu Ghana fo ani doctor Nana Ayu free ye wo call mrahye bedwafe ho abedwako no a o mo shampoo mu de ho sem so na rank member wo so e no wagina dom kuma na na mu a wakse ye free mpomode mu nsem wai na ye mese enko enwumasua ho ensem ye nim say school placement ho nsem egu so a ekọ school adisua fo mo kotena se kwetwe BC so hwe no esunsuan so na ba obi ani abra obi a pe ba senior high school akwakọhye akotoa enwumasua ho ensem so ebi de abutia ye awie bibia a chese wo monam krom tutu wo niema bi so de ebesi nei chese placement re ho asma iponfe wo munya ba bia o mo kwa akotoa so akọ senior high school and I'm so computerized school selection and placement system system you mo kofo mo na ehwe ama obia ochiro BC ni bibia o papa na so to aso bia obenya senior high school akọ omode abetu dwa so obia anka na koma to ne yem obia wo ha obia to aso na ko omo centers ahodo no ento akosi 18th October. That's a Joada Bay, the nest was Sukuni Bia, watch your BC, so any beer. Onya Suku Koyano, or Mappe school, Ama wo sober court, said the Bayer Jaffrey Senior High School, no, also be so emphasis. So Dr. Belinda Glover, or no, and a deputy coordinator of Free Senior High School Secretariat in Tino.
Initially, the numbers were becoming large and we were overwhelmed from the start, but as we were able to manage the numbers and then we brought on board our, strategies, we were able to, manage the numbers. And as you can see, the numbers have gone down tremendously and people are happy. We have been able to do the changes for most of them. And I must say that things are going on well. And we hope that by Friday, we will bring everything to an end. Okay, so Friday doesn't mean that is the end. You can still come to the secretariat at the ministry. You can also go to GES, walk to our offices, and then we are ever ready to assist.
How be a GES and also secretariat office for yes, answer about baby or my placement and 7 could do fear that day. Yes, if you are no macan, so just how could you adana say, Unya Suku or move few, or with few copies. I could have baby a shed ye. Ombekoswa aye ejuma. Dr. Belinda Glover, one year deputy coordinator at the Free Senior High School Secretariat. Or no, ena yeti name came. Now watching more of some more my money na yeti ye and Sikka Kase3 6Pm ya me check it Kase3 and Kase3 subon to be sunipa be se edunum dane butu ya manipa edunum die anase na bru nipa dunum po bi prepare na emom edunum a ne ya panyifo sade ba kwa beto so se edunsia na ati na nanom ewo ensie dom na panyifo ka so mu ye hwehwemu enei MC ya Owo Kase3 West Honorable Prosper Ado edi ababa tudwa se hwehwemu a medical ye ni manimu ya chira se sa subonto no a ekobunu ye ewo vote atade so no subonto no a se no wo ya subonto no na ya report wo subonto ne ho ena enye no ko a afesu no mo nhye life jacket no so ka ho bi ena de etwa to so nipa no a efuru subonto no ena se subonto no na asai na enye papanti na ni kwa se nipa dodo afro na so nipa bebre ko furu ye saa ne ma miense na gina so nti a ma subonto a esu nipa na yesi abemu a wanya la VS ena etwie akoda na abutu amanipa dusia eti nananom ewo ensiedo. Honorable Prosper Ado
investigations that are being carried out, only 3 issues have actually come up. One has to do with the boat actually not being filled because it's leaking. The other one has to do with overloading. The boat has taken more than it can take. And then the third one has to do with all the people on board the boat not having life jackets. The others, as for them, they survived. So they went to the hospital for treatment and they have been discharged and they are home now.
Ene ati ye aban Kase3 wo Kase3 West Honorable Prosper Ado ne ati se wa kire mu ne ma hodo mu hwehwemu o maye no abeda di ade afaso bonto no amutu ye wo eye voter tade no so no o se de edi kan so bonto no na asai de to so mienu nipa susu amfro na nipa no afro so bonto ndo so dodo ena de to so miensa life jacket no no mo hye no sa na ma miensa no hwehwemu no abeda di se ekikabo mu a ekofa sa to wenchem no wenei ede eba o my Ghana mom. Yako convener the National Boardroom Governance Summit, Professor Douglas Boatse. O se breadru se o man ye amanyo sem sin chen. Na fe ye dimpu to so sin chen. Ye nya so man punto ye de amanyo sem for him. O se ko man mu nyina wa agenda ye wo plan ye wo nisfade hunu ene siwo se ye botaye ena efa ho ne aban sese beba oba na enu ana wasa we a o Ghana kiyaku enim nya ne se ati ABC di mu kiyaku enim a koduru akiri ama Ghana ye kama ye mputuo afana cha se agriculture aduane ho nsam suku ho nsam pomode ho nsam ka ye bibia ko ne abede ho nsam nyina akọ na him wo se ye pese o man ye di a ena ye nyina ye nka mbom ne nya sa adwen ba ko a ene hye timobi aba efom so okro na amanyoko we ba no abaye we so ko ba no abaye sa o se akoba sa de emwa emo manyi enkonka wo sa se mo etudwa Abra National Boardroom Governance Summit 2025 ekoso ewo enkran mantem Professor Boateng intino.
We lose memory and pay for amnesia with repeated mistakes and wrongdoings. Moving forward, we as chairpersons need to institutionalize formal face-to-face transition between the ongoing and incoming chairs, including documented handovers that cover strategy, risk investigations, and commitments to stakeholders. Increasingly in most developing economies, outgoing chairs are being appointed as honorary chairs to pass on wisdom and guide incoming chairs. There's nothing wrong with us also doing that. We are one people. We should never ever let politics divide us, because at the end of the day, when the ship sinks, it's not just NPP or NDC, it's us all. We all suffer. So it is our duty as chairperson, whether you are politically affiliated to another party or not, to think of Ghana first.
Professor Douglas Boateng was so on the Catcher Boardroom chairperson in Ghana for Nina. Oh yeah, Juma. O strategy ko ena amanyo samo ko said the Ghana chishiri ene Ghana puntu no ejina ebeboa amana bem.
Enshrine due processes for board leadership so that dissent in public interest is not punished as disloyalty. And please, separate strategy from politics. Separate strategy from politics. Very important. You know, strategy loves the long view. Politics loves the shortcut. Strategy loves the long view. Politics loves the shortcut. The chair stands between them to defend tomorrow from the temptation of today.
And yeah, Professor Douglas Boateng wono and convener Edema National Boardroom Governance Summit. Na futeni tia. But if I hold show you my hold so abide any and na wo ye adwuma. Ma wan kasa strategy ade adwuma ne nkom. Na yi amanyosem so esi ba bi nko said de be ya ebe boa ma Ghana hyekyere ne mpontuo na yepe no ebetumi abamu esa. President Edema Ghana Football Association Ket Okreku so ena abo Ghana mampanyi John Dramani Mahama abaso se mampanyi ba ye wa boa ama yagudie ho nsem mpontuo ekoso ye papa o se mampanyi ye adwuma kasa adie bia efa agudie ho nsem titiriw Black Star ho ene Ghana Premier League die mampanyi eta o machechita pa boa mo so ayero mo ho we hu se no vemen vigo na ba embrante no mkosi ake o mo jiro mo ho bo na fe okunimdie nso ababaye omanmu enyina diaket okroku esmampanyi ajade so no akasa de nani edi agudie ho nsemachi boa amagana so akwachire yente no.
We are very happy to be here. I think that we'll work together and make sure that we all follow the agenda of the president of our country, who set out to reset all facets of the Ghanaian of our country, including football. And I think that the recent happenings, his personal commitment, his personal visitation to the team, is clearly having a manifestation on the football ecosystem. The GP, I have said, is the best so far. The Black Stars are back in the Mundial where we belong to. And a lot more can be said. Coast football is being played. I remember when I took office in 2019, in the Volta region especially, coast football was being played in Oli Hope. Today we have 22 districts in that region playing coast football. That's a testament of the investment we are doing to the youth of our country. So we are very happy, and I'm glad to be meeting a beautiful and nice people here to share what we have together. Thank you.
And your president Edema Ghana Football Association Racket or Kraku and what she and Komoi honorable Haruna Drusu and honorable Keto Kraku and a D and Komo na wakokosra asye no mechire ngmasu asye no eso afo no honorable Haruna Drusu hona komotwetwe ekoye na no mu na honorable Haruna Drusu so aka kire ye racket okreku se elbredru se Ghana Football Association se apejam o ka school de ene colleges ahodo se de nkola ne board school ne colleges ahodo no ye fa eni ni akire na GFN form ani so ni akire bi se de be ya young talents no school mu nkoda no obobo ne bi ya de pa omo so ma mu ni nyina ye hu omo ohomabo emfa Ghana enu akire Honorable Haruna
between the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and the Ghana Football Association, supported by a corporate donor to revive schools, colleges, and universities football so that we can identify young talents and groom them. So it's my opportunity to commend President of GFA for the leadership he's providing and urging on that with discipline, the impossible can be possible. And Ghana would be there, and the US, Mexico, and Canada. We expect that they will come as gallant men when we participate in the FIFA World Cup. So be assured that he's a most celebrated person now with our coach, Otto.
Honorable Haruna Idrisu ngomasi asafo ede atini nkani semi so na nyumre ye gina na nsema hodo amsaka ne fi ha me de beso mo se Sikka 89.5 enyumre no nsia kase bo asada nya de makwa me ofori aboaje wono ene bo abo akase ya no e ma esem fo falas okoji abo so ede e ma me obade mo hade ase wampa fo bracket 2 madam me brand say me bra na me producer jenchirenchi bomba ni na mbodi di no ya adwuma ya aboaje wono so ka ho bi na eja obade ma de ne ma me ne ma press ade ni nyina ade ama ye see wo de ma Bullet Fashion Center DJ Bulletin so ene chinchin fruma ne nyina ede e ma yen sai technician on duty me di ede ajoa nyako abro no ma nyina mo ene tie nya adru see wo hade akabia o de to so ya crown